Hi everyone, welcome to the Freedom Broker play of the day. Today the game that I have chosen is between Magnus Carlsen and Nodirbek Abdusattorov. It's between the classical world champion and the rapid world champion. And this is the playing hall right now of the World Rapid and Blitz, and this is exactly where the game took place. Magnus was here playing with the white pieces, Nodirbek was playing with the black pieces. So the game started with b3, e5, bishop b2. Magnus has been playing b3, bishop b2 here, knight c6, e3, knight f6, all standard, knight f3. Now he attacks this pawn and Nodirbek goes and defends it with his bishop. Magnus plays c4, in comes castles, d3, rook e8 was played, and here white plays a3. So white is trying to have this some kind of a hedgehog setup, not try to expand but playing like reverse Sicilian. a5 was played here, stopping b4. Magnus played bishop e2, bishop went back, castles, and now came d5, takes, knight d5, and knight d2 was played, f6 on the board. And this is the position where I want you to have a close look at. Look at this. It's like reverse Sicilian. Like white usually plays d4, black has played d5 in the open Sicilian, and he has his pieces nicely placed. Sort of white is a little bit boxed in, but this is how you play the hedgehog systems. So in this position, what is it that white should plan is the question. Well, let me take you back exactly 41 years in history, and we will transport ourselves to this board here. And this is the game between Bobby Fischer playing with the white pieces and Ulf Andersson with black. It was played in 1971. And in this position, look at the similarity. It's like Fischer had this hedgehog structure. Ulf Andersson had what Nodirbek had. And do you know what Fischer played here? This is one of those moves which made a huge impact on me as a player. It was amazing. You know what Fischer did? He played king h1 here. And what is his plan? Well, his plan is that after queen d7, he wants to go rook g1. And he wants to do some kind of an attack on the king side with g4, g5. That was just unbelievable for me. You know, the game continued with rook a d8, knight e4, queen jumped to f7, and now in came g4. You want to threaten g5, maybe there is a knight f6 check, opening up the king here, opening up the rook's path. He played g6 here, rook came up to g3, bishop g7, rook g3, rook swung over here. Now knight went to b6, this pawn is being attacked, but Fischer instantly attacked this bishop, defending his pawn. The bishop was pushed back, the knight jumped to h4, now threatening some kind of a move here. Knight d7, knight did not exchange, knight f8 by Andersson, and Fischer went knight f5, sacrificing his knight. You cannot take it because it opens up the rook. This entire plan with king h1, rook g1 was so beautifully done. Now, let's go back. So, what did Magnus Carlsen do here? Well, Magnus, after the move f6, played queen c2. And he said to himself that, look, I know the plan. Magnus knows his classics. He knows what Fischer had done. So after bishop f5, he played this move, rook e1. And when Nodirbek went bishop g6, what did Magnus do here? Yes, he went for the move g4, and exactly what we saw. And after the move queen d7, trying to attack this pawn, he just moved his king away. Because if you take here, then knight e5 and all these troubles start happening. And so, after you could not take here, he went rook a d8. The only thing that is different in this game is that Nodirbek played much more energetically than Ulf Andersson. and Magnus was not able to get everything that Fischer did. He played knight e4 here. The king went to h8. He brought his rook to d1. Bishop went back to f7. Rook g1 was played, just like in the game. Now knight b6, and you can realize that he wants to create play on this side. So Magnus went rook g3 and Nodirbek played a4. And even before Magnus gets in g5, the play has started here. You can't play b4 because you lose an exchange. So you had to take, and now Nodirbek jumped in with his knight, threatening this. So he brought it here. Now maybe knight a4 was the best way, and black is doing quite well. But he went bishop d5, and this made the position crazy. g5 by Magnus Carlsen, f5 played here. And now the best move here was knight f6. It's a brilliant sacrifice because after takes there is e4. Somehow you need to move this bishop away from here, and after gf6 the rooks get activated. However, Magnus Carlsen went knight to c3 attacking this bishop. The bishop went back to c6. He played e4 here. Knight took on a4. Knight a4. Bishop a4. Queen c3 was played, hitting the knight. The knight came back to c6, and here Magnus Carlsen unleashed a beautiful move, g6. This is where Magnus showed his class, because when the knight came into d4 attacking this bishop, he went knight to g5, and my goodness, what a move this was, because when Nodirbek took here, this is the point where Magnus made the second best move in the position. Can you find the best move for white? It's beautiful. Try to think. So Magnus went knight f7. It's the most natural move here, but better would have been queen c4. Looking here, even sacrificing another exchange, you will see that he's a complete rook down, but with threat of knight f7, rook h3, so difficult to meet. This is already winning. But in the game, he played knight f7, Nodirbek took here, gave up the queen, knight takes c3, queen was made on the board. It was an amazing game. Bishop takes e8, bishop takes c3, and now after bishop c6, the position is still quite complex. Anything could have happened, but he went bishop g6, and after Magnus took here, bishop takes e5. Nodirbek made the final blunder here with bishop d3. He should have played rook d7, but he took here, and now Magnus finished the game. Can you find the winning move? Rook takes g7 is a classy move, because if bishop g7, you take here with a check, there is a discovered check here, and you lose your rook. And so that's the reason why after rook g7, he resigned the game, and Magnus went on to win. What a beautiful game this was, but what amazing knowledge of classics Magnus has. Nodirbek played really well, fought really hard, but couldn't win this game. Magnus is now 4.5 out of 5. This was the Freedom Broker Play of the Day. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Life is full of exciting events, but it is our first impressions that we remember best. Your first diploma, your first job in a big company, unforgettable emotions from the first date, the first expensive things you bought when you got your first paycheck, and your first investments with Freedom Broker. Freedom Broker. Look at your favorite brands from a new perspective.